Thank you for tuning in to Do You Believe in Destiny? My name is DestinyRaven. So we are upon the 2014 Winter Olympic Games in Sochi, Russia, and Team Canada is coming up on top. We are #1 right now, as we have 3 gold, 3 silver, 1 bronze, making us a total of 7 medals. Now the Netherlands is not too far behind us with 3 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze, making 7 as well. Norway comes out in 3rd with 2 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze. The US is #4, haha, that's where you need to be, because we're beating you. USA is 2 gold, 0 silver, 3 bronze, at a total of 5, and Germany stands at #5 with 2 gold, 0 silver, 0 bronze. So that's up to February 10th on the medal situation in Sochi, Russia. And of course, in my next show, I'll bring you the ending results. And like I said, Team Canada, we're #1 right now. You know, I'd like to take a moment to wish good luck to our athletes that are performing there. I'm not really big into the Olympics myself. I don't follow them much, but you know, our athletes are out there performing and doing very well. So, you know, from all of Canada, we're all behind you, and good luck in the rest of the games that you play there. Now, of course, this year, these Olympic Games, there's a political twist to it. Enter LGBT persecution. Now, of course, Putin is known to despise the gay community. Russia is very, very conservative, which means, you know, people like us, we're persecuted, we're tortured, thrown in jail, things like that. And so what's made these games political, kind of, is that, first of all, some of the world leaders, including Obama from the US, did not attend the games to protest Russia's anti-gay laws, anti-LGBT laws. Now, you know, yes, I can understand, you know, the total, you know, whatchamacallit, not, you know, protesting the persecution and the treatment of the LGBT in Russia. But for right now, you know, these are games, you know. If you're going to protest, you know, there's lots of ways to protest. Right now, your country is, you know, playing their hardest. They're trying to do their best. And I think it's a total slap in the face that these leaders won't go and see their country play. Yeah, you know, it's known common knowledge that a lot of these world leaders are, you know, don't stand along with Russia on their views on that. But at the end of the day, they're Olympic Games. It's about countries getting together, forgetting politics, forgetting you know, differences in the world, to come together as, you know, a bunch of just athletes ready to have some fun and show the world who's the best country. So, and don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying the persecution of or, you know, even trying to, you know what I mean, the persecution and the treatment of the LGBT. But, you know, there's other days to consider this. Right now, it's the games. Now, of course, there's lots of countries showing solidarity by flying the rainbow flag in their own countries, Western civilization. Definitely lots of support for the LGBT in Russia. And, you know, I definitely, you know, supported brothers and sisters there during times of persecution and hardship. But, you know, the politics has got to stay out of the games. It's not the athletes' fault. It's Russia's leaders doing you know, their laws and stuff. So, you know, like I said, I understand their persecution. I definitely support, you know, standing with them. But we're in games right now, and, you know, it's just countries having fun. Now, of course, in the games, the athletes are not allowed to talk about world events, are not allowed to talk about anything like that. If they want to talk, it should only be about sports, which I totally agree with. What I don't agree with is Rob Ford. Well, I never liked the guy. I don't claim to like him. In fact, I think he's, well, I think he's disgusting. But anyways, Toronto has started to fly the rainbow flag, which is the pride, the LGBT pride flag, City Hall, to, of course, show support for our brothers and sisters down there. And of course he doesn't want that. He says it's about, you know, games, it's about athletes, it's not about sexual orientation, and I do agree with him there. But I also agree that yes, we should be showing our solidarity to our brothers and sisters there. So I think he's just over it. He has admitted himself he's very homophobic. He does not like gay people, but that's okay. Half the world doesn't like him either, you know. Disgusting, fat, and drunk. And that's my opinion of the guy. So anyways, but at the end of it all, and of course in Russia there's been you know, the rooms weren't done. They've had really, really warm weather. You know, it's just been one of those years, one of those games where, you know, things went wrong. And, well, the games are going on, and they're being played, and people are enjoying that. So let's focus on these athletes, especially the Canadian athletes. We're #1, and let's hope we stay that way. So yeah, go Team Canada, and the rest of the world, may you all do your best, and good luck to you all down there in Sochi. So I'll be reporting the next on my next show, which will be next week. Will probably be near the end of the Olympics, so I will be able to say what the final medal tally on that is. Now it's with sadness. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Two of my favorite movies he starred in is Twister and Boogie Nights. In Twister, he played a storm chaser named Dusty, really crazy guy. I really like him. Drives a bus there, one of the storm chasing vehicles. And in Boogie Nights, he was the kind of in the closet gay cameraman. He passed away last week on drug overdose, heroin. They found him with the needle still in his arm. So we're starting to see, like, you know, it's not a new thing for celebrities to die in drug overdoses. You know, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, just to name a few. But, you know, these lives in Hollywood and everywhere are being cut short with, you know, these drug overdoses. And it is a really sad thing. So may his soul rest in peace. You know, very, very good actor. And definitely going to be missed by lots of people in the world. Okay, so another news were the items in Canada here. A couple of weeks ago, Justin Trudeau, who is the leader of the Liberal Party, his father was former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. He basically let go of the 33 Liberal senators so that they can become independent senators. He's calling upon Prime Minister Stephen Harper to do the same. Now this comes on the way, you know, after the senator expense scandal, where, you know, 4 senators actually that came to light anyways, were using taxpayers' money to live lavish lifestyles. Now 2 of those senators now are being formally charged. Suspended Senator Patrick Brazeau and former Senator Mac Harb. They've been charged with, let me see here. They've been charged with 1 count each of breach of trust and fraud over their Senate expenses. So basically, you know, using taxpayers' money to live lavish lifestyles. You know, taking money that should be going to other things, you know, to our country, and using it for, you know, big hotels and stuff like that. And of course, that all happened, you know, at the end of last year there. So Justin Trudeau is basically saying, okay, well, if there's going to be senator scandals like this going on, then they need to be assigned over here away from the government. Now critics are saying the reason he's doing that just is so when his senator's dirty laundry comes out, he's not going to be tied to. He can be saying, oh, I was over here. I don't know how true that is or not. I think it's a little bit of both. I think, you know, after all the senator scandals and, you know, the mistrust the Canadian public has for these senators, he feels that they should be kind of governing over here by themselves. And I can see how, you know, it'd be a way to wash your hands of certain sticky situations that might arise. So last year I said I'd report back if I heard anything about these senators. So like I said, as it stands now, the liberal senators are free of the government. They're aside from the government, and like I said, two of those other senators are being charged. So they are definitely, and of course they were also suspended at the end of last year. They are paying the price for mistrust, for taking taxpayers' money and living lavish lifestyles. Now, if we can just do this with all the big corporations that are getting richer as the poor are getting poorer, we'd be set. But for right now, that's not the case for that. So I just wanted to bring you the current news senators here in Canada, and like I said, Trudeau is calling upon Stephen Harper to do the same, but Stephen Harper kind of scoffs at that. He likes to have his senators around. Who knows what they're doing at the Conservative caucus there, but Justin Trudeau is kind of setting that aside, setting the senators aside as a separate governing body. So, interesting story. And of course, the full story is going to be posted. There's a link page. It's going to be posted in the description section. So check it out. Check out the full story there. I just wanted to report a little bit about it. As well, I came upon this really interesting story. It's a really sad story. But it's in New York, actually. Several weeks ago, a little eight-year-old boy rushed into his burning home to save his grandfather and great-grandfather, and and died in the process of doing that. The firefighters gave him a full firefighter burial. They even got him a firefighter hat to give to his family with his name on it, full firefighter dress and everything. That this little boy had the courage, even though he didn't make it out, to go in there and try to save some lives. So it's very heroic, but at the same time there are trained people that are trained to do things like that, and it's best to wait for them because they have the equipment. They can go in there. But it's still it's still very sad. But this little boy did what he thought was brave and ended up dying for that. So it is sad. And of course, again, the story is going to be posted in the link description section of my show here as well. So that looks like all the really newsworthy items I really wanted to touch base on. Until next time. Oh, and there's just one more. Now the NDP here in Canada have been wanting to make ATM withdrawal fees 50 cents. I guess they're about $3 now. Now personally, I don't know. I don't use a bank. I have different means. I only deal in cash. They wanted to make the fees 50 cents. They were turned down. Various reasons. One of the big ones was the fact that the ATM, there's cost to keeping up those ATM machines, electronics and things like that. So, maybe 50 cents is a little too, but, they can raise, drop the price from $3 to, maybe $2.50 or whatever. But anyways, that didn't go through. So, anybody who uses ATM is still going to be paying their annual ATM fees and stuff like that. So, that's the last of the news where the items I wanted to talk about this week. Stay tuned for my review of Arrow episodes Tremors and episode 12 and 13, which is Tremors, and let me find what that other one was called here for a moment. Okay, so stay tuned for Tremors, which is episode 12, and Heir to the Demon, episode 13 of Arrow. so what you just saw there were pictures from episode 12 and 13 of Arrow, Tremors and Heir to the Demon. Now in Tremors, the bronze tiger escapes from prison. Roy begins his training with Oliver, but he finds himself getting frustrated with the way Oliver's trying to train him and all the secrets that he wants to know. What's this Miracle? Has he come in contact with it? And all the secrets that Oliver's keeping from Roy is actually making it very hard to train him. Oliver allows Roy to go out into the field with him. Roy loses control, allowing the bronze tiger to take off with the earthquake machine prototype. Roy gets frustrated with Oliver because all the dumb training. Laurel is without employment. Lance tries to get her to go to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, but she refuses. She doesn't think she has a problem. She thinks she's still just A-okay, but we've seen otherwise. Walter and a business partner want Moira Queen to run for mayor. Thea tells Moira, stop holding yourself responsible for all the earthquake, victims and, trashing the city, and, let's show the city that you're bent on saving the city. Now Oliver uses his true identity at the end to convince Roy to stop beating up Bronze Tiger and to save Thea, because on the island he figures with the incident with Slade, he didn't tell Slade the truth. Slade found out the hard way, and Slade's forever gunning for Oliver. So Oliver tried something different. He tried, using the truth, using love, to get Roy to calm down and to focus at the task at hand, and that was to punch into that huge container, and so he can drop a bomb and destroy the earthquake machine before everybody in Starling City dies. So that's how episode 12 ended there. And now episode 13, and of course at the end of episode 12, we see Laurel in some sort of stupor. She comes into her place, she falls down, and you see a foggy image of Sarah in her face. Now Sarah had been contacted by Oliver earlier in the episode. Oliver's been keeping tabs on her, and basically he calls her back to help her family. So that's where episode 12 leaves off. Now episode 13, Heir to the Demon, Ra's al Ghul's daughter, Nyssa, who we find out was actually romantically, intimately involved with Sarah the Canary. So she comes back, and it was actually her at the end of episode 12 that poisoned Laurel, so Sarah would come back to Starling City. Now Nyssa, it starts off in episode 13 being at the Starling City airport. Her ID is not checking out and her just going wild there. She finds Sarah, and basically that's where you find out those two actually had a love interest with each other. Nyssa rescued Sarah and, trained her with Ra's al Ghul there. So of course Sarah realizes that her place is with Starling City with her family, with Ollie and that, and begs for the Canary, or begs for Nyssa to release her. Now Nyssa's not too impressed with this. She's still madly in love with Sarah, so she captures Sarah's mother in hopes to bring down Sarah, to get Sarah to come out of hiding, so she can take her back with her. Now, and so she shows up. So basically, she goes to the spot where she's supposed to meet Nyssa. She has this poison on her, and Oliver thinks that she's going to poison Nyssa, which would totally bring hell down on Starling City from Ra's al Ghul. So he grabs this antidote and he heads down there where Sarah is heading to rescue her mom, and he finds out that she actually poisoned herself. Nyssa sees that it's no point in trying to fight to keep her. And, if you love someone, you need to let them go if their place is somewhere else. So she releases Sarah from the League of Assassins, from Ra's al Ghul and herself. So now Sarah looks like will be, more in the Canary, more on next episodes and stuff like that. And of course, at the end of episode 13, Felicity finds out about Thea's real father, and Moira warns her, you know, if you tell Oliver, Oliver will despise you. Oliver, you know, you'll rue the day that you told him. But it was quite the opposite effect when Felicity told Oliver the secret. Oliver basically at the end of the episode said, you know what, in private, you're no longer my mother. Like, you know, he basically disowns her because he thinks, he feels that she's nothing but a lying cheat, but agrees to help her in the public eye, you know, continues to still upfront that public eye, but in private doesn't want to have anything to do with her. And last, as well, Oliver pulls his funding from Sebastian Blood. Sebastian Blood goes to Slade, informs him about Moira running for mayor. And instead of Slade getting all mad and killing Sebastian, he calmly just says, you know what, I'll deal with the situation. So we're on a break now because of the Olympics until, I believe it is February 26th. So this is the last Arrow review episode till the 26th. I just want to say, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. And until we meet again for my next episode, I just want to say take care and have a good one.